Welcome to Right on Track, a songwriting podcast. Thanks to Tone for tuning in. I'm Demi Michelle Schwartz, and I'm thrilled you're joining me on my songwriting journey. So kick back and relax, don't fall flat, and remember, stay right on track. Hello. Welcome back to Right on Track. Joining me today is an artist I'm beyond delighted to have a conversation with. Please give a warm virtual welcome to Liz Kennedy. Hi, Liz.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Are you good? I'm good too. It's a foggy day in San Francisco, but it's nice. I like it like that. I can wear my turtlenecks.
Fabulous. Well, I'm so excited to have you on the show. We have lots to chat about. But before we get into specifics, I would love for you to share a little about yourself and your journey in music.
Have been wanting to be a songwriter and trying to be one since I was 12. What what was it that made me want to do that at 12? I think musicals, and I took piano lessons, but all I really was interested in was the structure of songs and choruses and verses, and I play the piano. I wouldn't do all my scales and things like that. I really just wanted to make my own songs, make my own uh, come up with my own chords, something. So I would say a long time. Then never thought, I think this is common with a lot of people, that I was good enough. So I did something else, but I never stopped playing the piano, never stopped writing. I was in the film business for years. And I also only wrote the music until I was like in my late 40s. I think I always thought about Rodgers and Hammerstein. There was always a writer involved. So, and back then in the very beginning, it was the beginning of singers, songwriters. I go back pretty far. And so then I said, I don't think anybody's coming here to write to my music. So I'm going to write it. And then that turned out to be possibly my real forte. Um, and I combined the two. So I was raising kids and singing at night. I mean, not out somewhere, just myself. In fact, I often say I never played for anybody. I was a real closet case for a long time. And maybe I was trying to perfect things. Maybe I never wanted to play until I thought I had a perfect song. And I still don't think I have a perfect song, but I'm inching. I love it. It's what I love. And then I met somebody who was a great guitar player and a producer and a studio owner, Joel Jaffe. I just went in to record some songs so that I didn't have to hold them all in my head constantly. And I went and recorded some songs. He said, "Do you have any more?" And I said, "Absolutely." I really worked very hard at getting a string of songs that I could record. Then I had the joy of actually joining with other great musicians, and collaborating was a total excitement. So it wasn't until my 50s that I started really recording and performing. I don't perform much, but I have a lot of music out there. I have, I think, 70 songs or something, and I think each one is viable in its way. And I'm here now in San Francisco. I'm writing. Here it is, August. I'm writing my third Christmas song. I always said I'd never write a Christmas song, but I actually find it challenging because I don't like Christmas very much. But I've, mostly because I want so desperately to get just the right present for everyone. So I find that's an onus for me to not always like Christmas. But I think it's going well. I think I just got something kind of hooky, so I'm excited about it. I'll start
Aw.
recording tomorrow. So, yeah. So I do love what I do. I work really hard at it. I don't think I don't know. I'm not a great piano player, but apparently I play well enough to come up with things. I do all the songwriting I do all the composing and all the lyrics myself, but I really work with a great team after that fact.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. It's so funny that you are writing a Christmas song. Your third one, you said? Your third?
Yeah, it's the 3rd one, in the last 3 or 4 years, and, you have to get them in there early, apparently, so you have to write them at an odd time, but maybe you do better thinking about it in the future. I know you're a songwriter too,
Right.
it's nice to talk to another one.
Yeah, no, I love writing the Christmas songs. I'm actually releasing my 5th and 6th this year.
Really? Okay, good.
I made it a tradition to write and release an original Christmas single each year, and I started in 2020, and I've done one each year since then. And last year I got super inspired and wrote two, and I'm like, well, I'm not holding on to one until 2025, so you're getting them both this year. I'm actually recording the second one very soon. The first one's already recorded, so yeah.
Well, let me ask you an important question. Do you like Christmas?
I love Christmas.
Do you have a lot of people you have to buy gifts for?
Yeah, I mean, just like my close family and my
Yeah,
best
yeah.
friend, but other than that, not like a ton of people.
Well, having kids and different I have a quite an extended family, and, I don't know, I got pretty well known for getting really fun gifts for kids 'cause I'm a kid at heart, and I love toys, I have
Yeah.
lots of them. In fact, in my latest, video that I guess we'll talk about, and song, While I Still Can, I try to have fun with it, and, in one scene, I bought a yo-yo again and found out I can still really do a yo-yo quite well, so that was fun.
That's perfect. Oh my goodness. Well, it's a perfect transition into your song While I Still Can, which is amazing. I love the concept and I think it's relatable for everyone, no matter how old they are. So if you can share the inspiration behind this song.
Yeah, well, uh, saying about, all ages have seemed to really enjoy the song. I toyed with the idea of letting people know how old I actually am, and, I decided to hold back on that, but I was very surprised that all friends, all ages, because 'cause I'm older, you know, children all grown, I'm a grandparent, um, everyone sort of felt like they wanted to kick themselves into action and to do some of the things that they were wanted to do while the name of the song is While I Still Can. So it really did appeal to a wide age range, whereas I was singing it more as an older person, but I probably felt these same things all my life. You can be 20 and think you're old and better get to the things you've been wanting to do while it's still time. So I was trying to have fun with a topic that's actually deadly serious, which is while you still have time doing what you want to do. And there's several different aspects to that because I also was speaking to women primarily who um, have been mothers, have been wives, who perhaps are when they get to a certain age are out of practice of thinking what they really want to do. It could be a man too, but women do tend to take the brunt of caregiving in all its forms. And when you get older past that, you kind of don't want to be self-centered, but you'd like to do things that you want to do.
I love that so much. And it's a very universal message. And I'm not
It is.
surprised that many people are relating to this. Because I'm 27 and I'm like relating to this. Like, yeah, like you never know how much time you have left. So, like, do the things you love while you have that time.
That's true. And no matter
And,
what age, at your age, you still have constrictions on your time.
right. Yeah, no, for
And
sure. And I think the other thing too is that it's empowering as well. I think sometimes if we have other things in our lives, like, oh, I have to do this for this person, or oh, I have this job or this thing, like, there's certain things that are like priorities that sometimes the
Yeah,
enjoyment and the things that we want to do for ourselves, the self-care, the fun adventures, all those things can kind of take a back seat because it's like, well, this is a priority, this is a priority. And then time slips by and you're like, oh, I wish I would have taken that trip. I wish I would have done this. And I think
it's true.
we should recognize that we have the ability to do things for ourselves sometimes and do what we want to do while we have that time.
And that it's important to do. I have thought about my mother a lot. I just lost her, she was 98, boy, and, I thought it was very interesting. She was a wife and mother, um, very early on, 60s and the like, and 50s and 60s, and I remember talking to her, said that if she when perhaps she saw me, maybe she thought it was self-centered, I don't know what, but doing things for myself, and she found it of interest that when she was young, she and her friends, if they had said, "I'm going to the gym because I wanna do something for myself," or "I want to, um, make myself feel good and build myself up," she said that was not a common thing, and you would have perhaps felt almost shame if you weren't always thinking outside of yourself, in service to the world somehow. And I think, nowadays, we all almost say we say much more easily, "You've gotta do things for yourself." But when you're a mother and uh, working at a company or whatever, often you still think you can't do things for yourself, just like my mother had. And so I'm very interested in that. I wanted to bring out the fact that you want to that what I came up with is I want to still have thrills in my life, which sometimes means taking a risk. And I hear that one of the things that for children that don't play outside very often anymore in the way life's going now, social media, they're on their phones and whatever, but that what was critical about playing outside is that you were constantly taking risks. You were breaking an arm. Not that you want your child to break an arm. I don't know anybody my age that didn't break something playing outside or that you get over it. You learn to live almost better if you're outside taking risks. So I kind of was doing layup shots that I used to be able to do. And what most people couldn't stand that I did in this video was I thought it was funny. I still think it's funny. Climbing on a table, on books, up on tiptoes to change a light bulb. And everyone I know said, "Liz, don't do that." I know someone that broke their hip doing that, but I don't like people to tell me what I can and can't do
Right.
anymore that on a from a
Yeah.
safety angle because and so anyway, so there was a little bit of risking here. And it was harder to do a layup shot than I thought it was going to do. I mean, I do a basketball layup shot. I was a real tomboy, and I still like to keep those skills honed. And I also say in the song that you need to really think back. I need to uh, think about what I used to like to do and do it. And sometimes it takes a while to remember what you really used to love to do.
Mhm. I love all of that. And I think another point as well is that we can sometimes have like dreams of, oh, I want to do this. Like, I want to be a songwriter, or I want to
Yeah.
be an author. I want to do this. And I think what's really great too is that you can do this at any age. There's no age limit on like if you can write a song. Like, if you're older and you've never written a song before and you want to write a song, you can't restrict yourself from doing that because you feel like, oh, I have to be 20 years old to write a song. No, like that's for everyone. And I think looking at dreams and the things that you've always wanted to do, if there's something that you really have in you that you want to do, something creative or another path or whatever, you can do that no matter what age you are. And I think that's the beautiful thing that sometimes society tells us we have to be a certain age to do a certain thing or be a certain way, but there is no limit on that. We can make those choices for ourselves.
A corollary to that, two things. One is you probably can't be a rocket scientist at a late age, but a lot of people come. friends, people I know, they'll say, "Gee, I wish I had a passion like you have, Liz, to write songs." And, maybe they want to or but usually if you talk to somebody about their life, they actually do have a passion, but they don't give it enough credence. They don't give it enough importance to look at, maybe it's gardening or maybe it's tomato or cooking or whatever, but they they don't identify what they're actually pretty good at as a valuable, passion. That it's not that it doesn't compare as well to what somebody else is doing and has spent a lifetime doing, but usually, there's something they have that they can really hone on their own and feel passionate about and give themselves, credit for what they have spent their life doing.
Yeah, no, I love that. Absolutely perfect. Well, I think this is an amazing song with an amazing message that many people will be able to connect to, no matter who they are, no matter where they are in the world, no matter how old they are. So, congratulations on this. And I just wanted to bring it back a little bit to songwriting itself. I read in your bio something I really related to, which is that you don't do songwriting necessarily because it's a choice, but it's something that you have to do. So, can you share a little bit more about that and your connection to the craft?
Absolutely. It is not easy to oh gosh. I constantly I think this is not good to say, but I'll say it. I do beat myself up over writing a good song. I want to do that, and I don't always know why. It's why do I want so much to do that? But I would never use the word obsessed. I'm not obsessed, but maybe I am. I don't I feel like I'm not right with myself if I'm not actually actively working on a song. I usually have about 5 I'm working on at a time that I can pick up. How would I feel if I had none? If I came to the end of the line and said I can't, I probably can't sing as well as I used to. I never could sing well. I have a kind of a unusual voice. I guess it's kind of a solo voice because it's not a great voice, so it has to be a solo voice. Um, it's not a typical voice. I I just don't want to live my life without structure in it of making the time to write songs. And so I was always writing songs when the kids were in bed. My daughter, all she does, she always says that she heard me playing. Upstairs was the piano above her room. And I put her to sleep most nights, not realizing she could really hear it playing playing music constantly. So why does one have something that doesn't always come that easily, but you constantly work hard at it? Do you feel that way?
I definitely do. I think if you have some kind of art passion, it's
Yeah,
something that's like a part of you. Like
yeah,
painting, writing songs. I'm an author as well. I write books. Just there's these creative outlets that we have to tell our stories, to share our experiences, to express our emotions. And whenever you're drawn to an art form like songwriting, it's something that we just have to do. Like if I don't write a song for a bit, I kind of have this emptiness, like I gotta write a song. And when I'm writing my music, when I'm recording and performing, it brings me such enjoyment. And it's not like, yes, I'm choosing to do songwriting, but like music has always been such an important part of my life that it doesn't really feel like a choice. It's something that, like, oh, I have to do this. I'm meant to be doing this. So there definitely is a difference between people who are just so drawn to this art because it's something we have to do, and the people who are kind of just like, oh, I kind of like to do it from time to time. I choose to do it. It's like a chill hobby. Like there's a very different perspective with that. Like those of us who do this because it's part of us, that's very important to us.
yeah. But I do when people say like when I'm performing, they say, "Gosh, Liz, you look like you're having fun up there," and I say, "No, I'm not." It's hard. Writing a song, I enjoy that. I when it's going well, I'll beat myself up when it's not. I do actually kind of find a new aspect to me when I perform. I don't perform a lot, but I think I'm actually pretty good at it. But it's a lot of work because I'm not naturally a performer, but I like talking. I like introducing my songs, and I play to the music. I now play on electric piano facing the audience because I try and really bring them in. When I used to play a piano, you can't really look at them when you're looking over a grand piano, or I'm too old now to turn my neck to the audience, so it hurts, to get their attention. So I do like it, but when people say, "God, you look it must be so much fun." I say, "Well, it's not really. It is and it isn't. It's a love-hate deal. Not hate, but you have to push yourself. I have to push myself to perform. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you like
Yeah.
the performing best?
Yeah, so I enjoy it. It's not my favorite, so I think we're similar in that aspect, but I grew up with classical piano, and so I grew up in a very different environment. I played classical recitals all the time, which is a very different
Wow.
atmosphere. It's more high stress, very formal, and I went to school for music as well, and so I just had that entire atmosphere around me. I started playing piano at age 10, so from a very young age, I had that pressure on me to be perfect because in the classical space, people want perfection. And so it's a very different experience. But now, I mean, I definitely perform a lot, but it's not my favorite. I prefer the writing, I prefer recording, but I do perform because
Yeah.
it's part of being an artist.
Yeah. I like recording. I love producing.
Yeah,
With
producing's so
my
fun.
producer. I love being there and
Yeah,
coming up with the ideas of
yeah,
the accompaniment and
yeah.
and all like that, and harmonies with,
Yes, oh my goodness.
we
Harmonies are my favorite part of recording
oh,
vocals.
me too. Me too. And we have, what do we have? 4 or 5 singers, 7 of us. Then, God, I should know. Well, a lot of times we have just a minute, let me think about that. Me, Joel, Hardy, Lauren, and Omega. We have 5 singing people. They all one is just a singer and everybody else plays, an instrument, and, that's a lot of fun. I love I love performing when everyone's singing.
Yeah.
I must say, as I have more harmonies going on, I do like performing better. So,
Oh,
that's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
all for the harmonies. It's so fun.
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that's great.
Well, it has been a joy having you on the show. And just to wrap up, I would love for you to share any advice you have for songwriters listening.
Always think, if you love it, you are good enough. Just keep trying to hone your skill and don't be too wordy, find the nub of the song and hold it all together, Always have a reason for the song that is clearly identifiable.
That is fabulous. Well, Liz, it was a joy having you on the show. Can you please share with the listeners where they can find you online, your website, and the platforms?
LizKennedyMusic.com, and I'm on Spotify and Apple and the usual suspects. Liz Kennedy Music will get you there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It was an absolute delight having you on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And listeners, that is a wrap on this conversation with Liz. I hope you enjoyed it. And of course, until next time,
Stay
stay
right
right
on
on
track.
track.